another beat for you guys to see how to mix. I think it's rocking pretty all right, but it ain't hitting how I know it could hit. So we're gonna start getting into the mixing process. So like I showed y'all in stage one, I'm gonna highlight everything. Go over here. Now you don't have to start from 5. I just like starting from 5. Channel routing, start from this track, and voila, everything's in there now. Oh, that's cool. I'm actually going to take it up to 164 just because I feel like it. But anyway, back to the mixing. And so yeah, everything's hitting all right, but we about to take it from a 3-star restaurant to that 5-star restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Big Yelp reviews. So even though I was making my beat, I should have had this off. And this is the importance of having it off. You're going to hear the difference. So you're going to turn this off. And then what I didn't do yet as well is turn the velocity up on my 808s and my kicks. And now I'm going to show you the difference between that. So this is how it's hitting. Like it's cool and all, but I'm turning them all up. We'll do it the same for my kicks. Huge difference. Big difference. You hear me? And now they're hitting even harder in the mixer too. Them Jones as big as the Empire State Building. Jesus Christ. So tall. But it's all good. And you see over here, we're peaking. I'm sorry if this beat is just blasting your eardrums. It's one of those bangers. It's blasting. So what you're gonna do is start from here, hold command, drag over. Do that again. So click, command, click again, hold it, and drag over. Now you have all these highlighted. Now I'm just going to bring these all down by 5 dB. And that was actually perfect for gain staging into the master channel. Now, what you really should be doing though, to really gain stage, is turning all these knobs before they even get here. I'll show you. That would be the true gain stage way to do it. So actually what I'm going to go do is, because the reason why you want to do that is when you start throwing things on like compressors, let me get this CLA. When you throw things on like compressors, like they're going to be going into these like really hot, and you would think like, oh, well, I turned this down, so it's not going to go into this that hot. And when I mean by hot, I mean loud. But realistically, what happens is the sound goes from here, then into your plugins, and then after all that's said and done, then you turn it down. So it doesn't turn down here and then go into the plugin. You have to turn it down here for it to go in softly into your plugins. And that matters because plugins have a sweet spot, and they say, like for compressors like this, especially analog emulation plugins, like the sweet spot's around -12 dB. So I'm gonna just go ahead and turn these all up again and gain stage the right way. Let me just hit reset. Well, go back. Just pull these all up to, that's fine right there. Go back and turn these all down more. I just like to do this. I just like to put them all facing upwards. That way they're all. Now we're good money. We're gravy. It's hitting the sweet spot now. It's good. Now you can see it's down here around like -21. It could be a little bit louder, I guess. Let me turn this up. I'm gonna solo this so I can show you what I'm talking about, because you can't really see that well with this. So I'm gonna turn on this. Where's it at? This isotope EQ. See, it's peaking at -14, but even if I were to turn it down here, it doesn't do anything. So the real true way you'd have to do it is through here. See how much lower it is now? It's way lower now. So that's what I meant by the volume from here then goes into your plugins, and then once you're done mixing all in here, then you would turn it down to level it. Now let's get into the real mixing. So the rule of thumb in mixing is everything needs to have its own space, meaning like it needs to have its own frequency range. So like the 808, just solo this 808. You can solo real fast just by right clicking, or if you like doing things the hard way, you can just do all these one by one, but I don't think you want to do that. So just gonna right click this and it's gonna solo it. Bring with that fruity parametric. So let me make this bigger. So as you can see, it is all low range. Well, from low mids to sub, and it has a little bit of mid-range to high mid just because it has some distortion in it already, but you really want to kind of leave it where it's at, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to start taking away its quality. I mean, if anything, depending on how much you want it to rumble, you might add some more to it. Like I might just bump it up by like a dB, just so it's bumping that much more. But you can probably take off a little bit of. Nah, I don't even want to. You see what I'm saying? All that counts because this gives it some air. So around like that 10K. And like when you're mixing, you just want to experiment to see like what are the important frequencies. As of right now, it seems every bit of this frequency within this 808 is important. I kind of don't even want to touch it anywhere, like at all. I might actually want to bump it up some. Sometimes you'll find that you want to add instead of take away. The frequency of the 808 is in the low end. This sound is more mid-range based. I might actually turn this into the fruity parametric. Now, what I am going to do with melodies, most times with melodies, you don't really want to have no low range in it. You want it to really be from like low, mid to high. And our ears can hear from 20 hertz all the way up to about 20,000 to 18,000 hertz. So it's actually good because it's not going to interfere with the bass. It doesn't have a whole lot of high range either, so the hi-hats is going to sit cool in there. But what it does is it does have some harsh mids. Like that, I'm going to take that down. And the way I made that sharp and pointy is I scrolled up on the mouse. But you can also go down here with the wheel. And then you can also play with these, which do different things. See what I mean? Open hi-hat's a little loud. Also, with this makes it stereo mono. So when it's all in full purple, it's full mono. Also with like your 808s and your kicks, they say to make everything mono with your bass. I think sometimes that's not always the necessary thing to do. I think sometimes even adding a little bit of stereo to the 808 will give it some more punch, more brightness, more presence. But we can do that in another episode. That's a little bit much. That's way more technical. It's like a whole separate skill of itself. So, as you can hear, when you turn on stereo, it's going to make it super wide. Well, not necessarily super wide, but it's going to make it wider. It's going to make it wide. That way, you know, when you're playing in a stereo system, it ain't drowned out. Another rule of thumb to help you mix out, that way you're hearing everything equally, especially like on a mono R tone reference speaker. So it's like you would want to mix a mono. So you would just turn the whole master channel to mono. That's cool. But let's see if I can make the mix a little bit better. What's too loud to me? Let's listen. I want to be able to hear that melody because that's what's going to give it the vibe. I think that everything's hitting right. Actually, I want to add a little bit of high range. So with this EQ over here, this also will raise the volume of everything no matter what. Like, for instance, say if I had this, I'm going to put the limiter on. That way it never goes over 0 or wherever it's at. If I go into this, even though I got that fruity limiter on, once you use this, it's going to push everything back up. So in a sense, your sound goes from here to your plugins, here, and then in a sense kind of here. I think this knob and these are like on an equal playing field, I would say. But that you gotta be aware of the process of how your sound is being routed, because you don't want to get confused on how your sound is being processed. So I'm gonna just add some high range. Turn this mono off so you can hear. Yeah, I think that beat's pretty mixed. Now, whatever you want to do, you can mix it and then lay it out. You can lay it out, then mix it. It really all depends on your workflow, your process, how creative you're trying to be, when you need to be creative. It comes down to a lot of different variables, and as you get into this beat production stuff, you'll realize that. And this is your man Prana. Thank you for stopping by and watching episode 3 of Mixing, and hopefully you can be on your way to start getting your track sounding right. Be back with more episodes.